Welcome and thank you for joining us. On this fascinating investigation into a recent incident that took place in the holy city of Mecca as the Earth continues the warming of the Earth and the mystery of icebergs. We are witnessing incredible events that exceed our expectations and pique our curiosity at the Kaaba, which, considered the center and focus of the Muslim faith. A blizzard has occurred. In this study we are investigating a unique incident that took place in Islam's holiest site. It is impossible to ignore the connections and implications that this incident may have with ancient prophecies and thoughts of the end times. As we analyze this circumstance, as we continue to delve into this study, we are forced to ponder on the amazing possibilities of what it could mean in a broader context, including the biblical references to the appearance of the Prophet and the Antichrist. Get ready for a study that will test the conventional ways of thinking that we're familiar with, as well as the beliefs and events that shape our world. What conclusions can we draw given the extraordinary nature of these phenomena? Do we have the ability to understand them as the judgment of God? The more we learn about this intriguing subject, the better we will understand it. The snow that fell on the Kaaba in Mecca has attracted the attention of a large number of believers and prompted speculation about the meaning of the snow as a sign sent by God. As it says in the Psalm 517, "Purify me and I shall be whiter than snow." And also in Isaiah 1:18, which shows how God in His grace can turn sins into pure snow. We find symbolic correlations between snow and the cleansing of sins in the scriptures. Snow is a symbol of the cleansing of sins. Moreover, snow falling on such a holy place like the Kaaba reminds us of the biblical warnings against false prophets and false teachers, such as those contained on this subject in Deuteronomy 18:20. The current situation with the phenomenon of the sag in the Kaaba is reflected in these biblical verses that give us a more in-depth to look at the inflatable and prophetic the implications of this extraordinary phenomenon. The Kaaba, located precisely in the center of the celestial cube, is a relic of great importance in Kaaba. Many people value this stone. Some believe it is a gift from God to mankind. On the other hand, there are points of view that say that Satan is trying to imitate Christ at the same time, trying to deceive mankind at the same time. Throughout the ages, the black stone has been a source of intrigue and devotion because of its significance, which has been the subject of many different legends and speculations. Historians and scholars of religion have suggested that the stone was already revered by the Arab Shia tribes in the area before its adoption by Islam. Some even claim that it is a meteorite, which lends an air of sanctity and mystery surrounding. It is believed to have come from the heavens. Given the aforementioned notion that Satan would try to resemble Christ can be traced back to apocalyptic traditions that can be found in both Christianity and Islam. A figure who appears to mislead the faithful is called the Antichrist. These stories often serve a warning against the deceptions of the Antichrist as a result of the blizzard that occurred in Mecca could be interpreted by some as omens reminiscent of similar prophecies. In thinking about this, it is important to consider the broader historical and cultural background due to its long and glorious history and deep spiritual significance. The Mecca has always been at the center of events with significant religious. In addition to being the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad, the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad It was also the place where he received the revelation of the Quran for many. It has served as a place of pilgrimage and worship, in a place where millions Muslims go to perform the Hajj. It's not a new concept to establish the connection between unusual weather phenomena and spiritual significance throughout human history. Many natural phenomena have been seen as divine signs. One such example is the solar eclipse that occurred at the time of Jesus' crucifixion, which many interpreted as a symbol of great religious significance. As a result, some believers today may view the blizzard that occurred in honey, just as throughout of human history there have been many instances of natural phenomena that interpreted as super signs in the Jewish narrative. One of the most is the discovery of the Red Sea from the other side. In Christian tradition celebrates the arrival of the Star of Bethlehem is celebrated as the moment of Jesus' birth. In the religion of Islam, that miraculously preserved the sacred shrine is the event known as the incident with the elephant, when Abraha attempted to destroy the Kaaba but was prevented by birds throwing stones, and the trees and fruits have their own personalities. The fact that Allah's name can be found on trees and fruits is one of the most commonly cited examples of people have repeatedly claimed to have seen the name Allah or passages from the Quran spontaneously created on tree trunks, leaves, or even watermelons and tomatoes. These sightings have occurred on various. These sightings are considered miraculous and are seen as a constant, a reminder of the presence of the divine in every aspect of creation. Two clouds. Another example is the development of Arabic words in clouds such as Allah or Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. ODI. Earthquakes and tsunamis throughout history. Natural disasters such as earthquakes and tsunamis at different points in time have often been seen as divine punishments. After the catastrophic earthquake and tsunami that occurred in the Indian Ocean in 2004, several religious leaders saw the incident as a divine warning against sinful behavior and the need to return to the ideals set forth in the Quran. In Islamic theology, the destruction of the ancient peoples described in the Quran is seen as a consequence of their apostasy from God. A type of interpretation has deep roots in Islamic theology. The lens also allows us to observe volcanic eruptions that can be observed in and of themselves. There is a common comparison between the damage caused by volcanoes and the punishments recorded in the Quran. These sufferings inflicted on people who rejected the prophets of God. So many people see such events as a warning of the need to live in accordance teachings of divine healing. Unexplainable and miracles. One healing attributed to the Quran. There are countless reports of people who have experienced miraculous healings after reading verses from the Quran or contact with the holy text. These healings have been attributed to the Quran. The healing power of God's words is demonstrated by the fact that these cases are often documented and discussed in the Muslim community. Some people believe that the Quran contains a spiritual power capable of healing both physical and mental disorders. This belief emphasizes the importance of faith and prayer to protection from natural disasters. Exist other stories of people who have been protected from the effects of natural disasters in ways that cannot be, and these cases are often attributed to divine intervention through the Quran. For example, there are stories of houses that survived natural disasters without without any damage, while all the other houses in the neighborhood were demolished. In many of these cases, the people living in these houses are described as devout believers regularly reciting the Quran. As a result, the community interprets this as evidence that they are protecting themselves from divine interference. Phenomenon related to astronomy: 1. Eclipses and comets. Both solar and lunar eclipses as well as comet sightings were considered signs of the divine. These astronomical phenomena are often seen as an opportunity for contemplation and prayer in the Islamic religion. According to Islamic tradition, Muslims are required to recite special prayers and salat al. Every time there is an eclipse, they do so because they view these events as an opportunity to reflect on the greatness of God and the weakness of men. 2. Shooting stars in the Quran. The Quran, shooting stars are mentioned as a form of protection that God uses against demons who are trying to eavesdrop on the secrets of the heavens. Reading of the Quran, a natural phenomenon, is given spiritual significance, which confirms the notion that divine forces are always vigilant, watch over the universe and protect it. Examples of historical disasters and their interpretations of the destruction of cities of the past. The Quran contains descriptions of past civilizations such as the civilizations of Hell and Samet, civilizations that were destroyed by natural disasters as a result of their disobedience to God. These cities were destroyed as a result of their crimes. These stories are often remembered whenever modern-day natural disasters and are seen as a constant warning that disobedience to divine laws can result in severe punishment. Severe floods and droughts were also seen as divine omens. This applies to both types. Natural disasters. Throughout the history of Islam, such events have been seen as either a test of faith or as punishment. Droughts in particular have often been interpreted as a call people to pray and give more generously with the intention of seeking God's forgiveness and mercy. These examples demonstrate how natural phenomena are often reinterpreted in the context of beliefs. They serve as testimonies of faith and an ongoing interpretation of the divine messages present in the world. They are a demonstration of the deep connection that exists between natural phenomena and spirituality and serve to reinforce the presence and power of the divine in the lives of modern Christians. Consequently, snowfall in a place as incredible place like the Kaaba can easily be interpreted as a phenomenon of great spiritual significance. Because of this, we are forced to reflect on the connection that exists between the natural and supernatural realms, and also about how events in the physical world can have significant implications in the spiritual realm. Finally, we note that the snowfall that occurred at the Kaaba has significance. It is more than just meteorological phenomenon. It is a moment when the history of faith and the interpretation of the prophets meet together. Regardless of how each person chooses to interpret this event, it undoubtedly prompts deep reflection on our position in the cosmos and our connection to the divine. Inspiration for our own ideas came from God. Spreading false information is the third sin in the case of the prophets. God did not allow any of the distortions made by those who falsely attributed their statements to God by telling lies, and last but not least, the risk of false prophets who often argue with the true messengers of God. Their popularity reinforced by messages that are easy to expose. People tend to favor the convenient predictions of these charlatans when it comes to who they consider legitimate prophets. They're not limited to the outside world. They are capable of modeling within our inner being. God is not a vengeful and terrible deity ready to punish, but one who draws attention to His holiness and justice despite the mistakes that humans make. We have the ability to deny His deep mercy despite the fact that the sacred writings and teachings of Jesus, that there are consequences for rejecting God. There are consequences for rejecting God, is centered on love and grace. God does not want anything to be destroyed, and His approach to His creation is based on love and grace, not love or malice. When we think about God, pray to Him or talk to Him, it's important to have a clear picture of His terra firma. A sense of appreciation and adoration throughout life is a vital foundation for preparing for the coming of Christ, and that's in addition to the importance of love and forgiveness, which are now components of the preparation process now. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on everything that I have previously discussed with you in the comments section below. Please share your ideas with me. Be sure to like this video if you like it, and if you want to stay up to date with our content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out the latest information. Please accept our thanks for taking the time to read our content, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, I pray that the powerful God's blessings be bestowed in your life.